very quick recap. Okay, so we were already diving into the actual development for the web app. Okay, so if you remember, the scope of the project has three roles: has admin, has judge, has students. Okay, and this is the local version. Okay, we did a lot of modification on the landing page, and we have admin. There you can log in. I already have an account system, and you can. The most important thing is to manage different kind of competitions. Okay, every competition you can create new one. You can go and check all the details in terms the number of projects being submitted, and the students registered, and also the judges. Okay, and then we have a student sign up link. All right, so we can test that from the student end. Also, I showed you that we have connected this repository with Vercel. So this is a live version, and whenever you put something new, and it goes to the live automatically, so everything is set. So Vercel is a lot easier to use than EC2, which is also something I recommend. Okay, so let's actually go back to test the other roles. Okay, I'll go back to the account. So this is a sign up page. So if you want to sign up, you must sign up as the competition. You must have an account. Okay, so I think we had a. Let me try to redo this. Okay, so I'll try this one here. All right, and oh, I probably already used this account. So let me uh let me just sign out. Okay, make sure. So if I try this link again, so that's a student page, and so the best way should be just directly log in without having this information. All right, so I'm gonna give a quick feedback here. For the student registration page, please ask the student to sign up or log in only without the form below at this page. All right, so going back here. And then they got a name and email and password. Is this for login or oh, this is already signed up. Okay, so I see. So that's what they mean by sign up. Okay, so this is a little bit confusing. Okay, so um all right. I'll just give the feedback. Okay, this page is a bit confusing. Um, Login and sign up button should be at bottom. Please clean up the page and make it more clear to ask users to sign up or log in. Again, sometimes you don't have to think about how to change. You just provide a specific um, expectation and feedback. All right, so here is the sign up, and then otherwise you log in. All right. Okay, so I mean it's not perfect, but I think that this is fine. Okay, let me try this again. I think we have this one account. Let me try to log in for the worst. I do a wrong password, that's not correct. And I do 789, that's not right. I delete. All right, so that's correct. Okay, so that brings me in. And then for the student account, they can manage the competitions. There are two competitions they can sign up. And then there are also projects. Okay, I think that's where we were last time. And then you can start to submit a project. Okay, so let's see, where do we go to create a project? So um, from here, we'll open the competition details. And then there's a project submission, their title, summary, and some other information. Um, and so let's give it a try. Okay, so this one will be, we'll do this one is a web app 1.0, a full stack web application. Oh, so the deadline already passed. That's actually good. Okay, so that means the deadline is working. All right, so if we go back and look at the submission deadline, and that's actually working. So what we can do is we can also enable the editing. All right, please enable the editing of the competition with at this page. Right. No, that's not right. So please um, enable the editing of competition, like dates and other info in the admin page. All right, so here's the changes we can do. All right, so the registration deadline, submission deadline. Let me change this one and save the change. All right, and now I'll go back here. I'll just refresh, and the deadline has been changed. Let's see if we can do this again. All right, this time it works. Okay, so the logic was okay. And then you submit the project and back to the portal. And there are 2 projects submitted. A lot of information, a little redundant, okay, but at least you can submit things. And then let's go back to the admin page. All right. You got a 1 project submitted from a student. Okay. Yeah, so it's a very simple and quick workflow. Okay. Let's also test the judges. Okay, so let's work. So far, I don't think they have a judge page yet. All right. But let's try this one. Judge 1. All right. And let's log in. Okay, so looks like they don't have any pages yet. Okay. Now let's work on the judges page. After logging in, they also have a dashboard page to check the competitions. And from there, they can see all the student projects and be able to provide scores and feedback to the projects. Please implement all the database, API, and UI changes for the role of judges. All right, so since this one will be very similar, so we'll put together a whole like a prompt to do it all together. All right. So they did a lot of changes this time, and let's go ahead to test it. But at the same time, take a look at some of the comments. All right, let's just run it. So we look at admin first. All right, find out the competition, and we're looking at the judges. All right, so let's try to log in. We got a judge one. All right, so we got a whole page here, very similar style, and that's a competition. You just sign up, and you can find out that competition. From there, you can see the student project. This is first student project, and then some scores. Save that. All right, and then they can put some comments. All right, back to the portal and reviews. Yeah, overall it has all the things there. Okay. So like this recent change I made here, it took us almost 10 minutes, okay? Actually 7 minutes, almost 8 minutes. Although it's long, but there is no um eruption you need to get into. Part of the reason because the way we set it up is that we use the MongoDB. It doesn't need a schema, so you don't have to go back to the database to make those changes. Because this change they need to add a new table, new data structure. They just automatically apply those in MongoDB. That's why we suggest that one in the beginning, because otherwise, if you use other things like Superbase or SQL Server, every once in a while they ask you to change this one in the table because they can't directly operate those. They want you to send that code or make some other changes, just a little bit more work. And this one, everything's done. And if you're happy with this one, just push, okay? Push to GitHub, and it will be automatically deployed. All right, so once this is a push, as we saw before, and this will be triggering a new deployment automatically already. All right. All right, so this is correct and automatically switch to this version. And if we go here to refresh, and we'll go to the judge, and well, or is there something wrong with the login version because you already logged in that one? Okay, let me sign out. Okay, all right, make sure this one still works. And now if I go to judge, well, it still do it. Okay, so it looks like the sign out thing isn't working very well. All right, so looks like the sign out doesn't work very well across the app. Please make sure we clean up and sign out the user correctly. All right. And then if we do a judge, all right, so this one, the actual thing works. It's just a sign out doesn't work very well. And then you can find all the reviews you have, right? And if you do student, all right, and that's a student's view. And then the student had two competitions and then they submitted two projects, right? So sign out and we go eventually go to admin. All right, somehow the admin doesn't work anymore. Try this again. All right, gotta fix that one. So coming back here again. See the sign out button. Now you go to judge, and that was sign out and admin. Hmm. All right, so the admin login stopped working. Okay. The login of the admin users role doesn't work anymore. All right, so let's actually try this again. I do with the student. Okay. All right, we'll just send out. If we do the admin. All right, so that also works. All right, so push the code. So once you've done this for multiple iterations, as you can see, all the work you have left is to focus all this little feedback you have one by one. This app, I think, if you want to make it to work to production, there's still tons of features I want to do, a lot of details. The way you configure the submission and we talk about the eligibility control based on the grade level. There might be email system to integrate to send notifications, a lot of things. Okay, so um, you might need to just write it down and then to implement all of them. But before we tried that, okay, now if you remember in the very beginning of this project, we had this whole project definition requirements definition file, okay, right here. We kind of, because as we were building the prototype, we didn't actually use this one a lot. So what we could do, at least we can give a try, is to resend this, okay? So let's see if we can copy this. Okay. So now that we have a working prototype, please check the previous um, PRD file and see all the missing functions and start implementing those one by one. Here is the PRD file. All right, let's see what they can do. All right, so they're comparing the current prototype with the PRD. All right, so the real student academic profile, eligibility enforcement are missing. All right, so they add a lot of other information. Let's actually go ahead and test it. Okay, so go back here. Let's say the competition, if there's anything new going on. They do have the minimum grid level. Okay, so this one maybe for 3. And maximum will be 12. And mixed grid team policy, we do street and then just save it. All right. All right, and then let's see the sign up page. Okay, we'll go to student. All right, and then let's see here. We'll use let's do a new account. All right, for the new one. All right, to finish your profile, then return to the configuration page. Okay, so you gotta have your profile ready. So this one will be first grade. All right, save the profile. Okay. Now you got an account and then you go to competition. So yeah, you can't see any competition. I don't know if this is related with the age. Okay, I'm gonna change the grade level to 5th grade and save that. All right, and then the competition. No, you still don't see that. All right, let's go back and use that page again. All right, so we're gonna log in. Okay, now you can see this competition. All right, and then go open the detail. Oh, the submission deadline is passed. Let's change that one a little bit. All right, so this one was submitted. All right, so once you submit, going back here, you can see all the projects. All right. Yep. As you can see, this one, because it involves multiple users, multiple roles, and across different organizations, it does take a lot of efforts to test it. Okay, so that's why one good thing we had was the initial project definition requirement definition file. Okay, you can always use that one as kind of a master plan, and clearly the more detailed feature you can put, the better. All right. So yeah, so this one I probably gonna stop the demo here. As you can see, all you need to do is add more things, um, test it with a page and give feedback, constantly working on this one. Okay, but you know, the more features you have, it's gonna take longer to test. Okay. So but you can always try to use a different prompt and based on the PRD file, okay, to keep working on other things. I remember we have, yeah, this one is the MVP. All right, and then they have some other things going on. All right, but oh, let's push the change. Right, and then that also deploy everything. Okay, so hopefully that just gave you some ideas on what that development will look like. Okay, you can see if you roll the right tool, right, set it up, backend, Vercel, server, the full stack development is just very straightforward. Okay. But then one challenge you saw was again managing all the features because the AI is not going to do everything for you all at once. They often build this thing incrementally. So you need to have a way to track it. So maybe next time I'll try to show you some other tools that can automatically look at the list, maybe automatically do some kind of testing, and then move forward by itself. Okay. You also probably can see some of the demos people use a multiple agent to coordinate and work on the different things. Okay. So yeah, that's basically how you start to use the vibe coding to work on a project. Okay. Um, but at the end, well, coding this one, implementing this one is getting easier. Um, Knowing the problem, defining the feature requirements, that becomes more critical. But all I can share with you is this year as we use this one, the code they generate, the quality is so much better than before. You don't see a lot of build errors, you don't see a lot of bugs. Previously, some of the small feature like this, you had to go multiple iteration, but now this time it works really well. The only downside is this project for some reason, I don't quite like this UI. Um, it still doesn't look good to me. Okay, it's not a very typical kind of a good UI. But I guess we just need to provide a lot more feedback. Okay, so I'm gonna stop recording this one here.